Update every week.
What's new from Tornado Alley? Well, we're going to get it firsthand tonight because we've got Coach Leroy Ryals and his assistant Fred Gilmore, who's been on the show before, and they had a super season. And they'll be coming on around 7:15, and we'll get the lowdown on their season. And there's a big football game coming up that we want to talk about, and there's prospects for next year. So we want to congratulate them on a great season. Also, I got to take my hat off to you again. When we started the season, one of your picks was Miami, which.
Oh, well, our special guest tonight is Coach Leroy Ryals and his assistant coach Fred Gilmore. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you.
And as Scotty, we've had our Booker updates all season. They didn't let us down, did they?
They didn't at all. Even in defeat, one of many tremendous Sarasota programs that have had great years. And congratulations to both of you.
A lot of pride over Tornado Alley. Let me ask you this, Coach. When you started the season off, I mean, we all have goals. You knew the talent that you had. Your record the previous year was what?
6-5.
6-5.
Yeah.
So realistically, what did you think, looking at the schedule?
Well, we knew that we only graduated 2 seniors, and we knew that we had a lot of people back and a pretty good JV team to work with. And so in the spring, we made a lot of goals. The kids wanted to come together and say, first of all, we're going to win the district championship, and second of all, we're going to go further last year in the playoffs than we did this year in the playoffs than we did the year before. And so we accomplished those 2 goals, and the other goal was to go to the state championship.
So you really, in other words, what you did is what you expected.
Pretty much. We knew we had to pay the price in the summer, in the spring, as far as the weight room and stuff like that. And the kids did, and we pretty much expected to have a good year.
You did a lot of traveling, too. What was that thing you said the one year? They must up and down Interstate 70 or 70?
Scotty, yeah.
Scotty, I mean, you
Had
guys
an eighth on.
I think you went to Arcadia one week, Okeechobee the next, and then Lauderdale the next. Yeah, we only had 4 home games during the regular season, so we had to travel a lot this year.
And you had an honor. Your top player obviously was touchdown Johnny Baker.
Right.
And he came out as Player of the Year in Division 4A.
Right. What can I say? He's the best kid I've ever coached.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, you talking about a kid paying the price. He paid the price during the summer in the weight room. The kid bench pressed 330 pounds and squats over 500 pounds. And also he did a good job this summer on the track, getting the speed, his 40 time down to 4.4. And so we expected a good season out of him, and he really came through for us.
Okay, but now Johnny is graduating this year.
Correct.
And do you have any idea where he might be headed?
We don't know yet. He wants to go to the University of Central Florida. I hope they're listening.
Central Florida?
Yeah, he wants to go to UCF.
Now that goes Division 1.
Right. They're going to Division 1 next year. I think they play Florida State.
We're going to have 4 Division 1 in the state.
Right. They play Florida State next year. So.
They play Central Florida?
Yes, about the 3rd game of the season.
You might tell John to pick another school.
Well, I don't know why he wants. Well, his first choice was Florida, but Florida's not going to really recruit a lot of backs. They're going to recruit 1 back, and they're looking for a big back, and that's not him. So his second choice is Central Florida, and that's where he want to go play at.
Now, how do you think he'll? Now, Johnny is, he's a strong person, but he's not a very big person.
No, he's short, but he's big. I mean, he's
well, if you
strong.
Bench press 350.
At once?
Yeah.
We tried.
I accumulated. I do about 30, and then I put it down. 30 makes 60.
I know. And we hopefully, Freddie, we might be able to get Johnny over here. I guess he had some kind of engagement tonight.
Yeah, probably 2 weeks he's going to come.
Okay. Replacement for Johnny Baker next year.
Well, we got a young couple back that we're looking at. We had like I said, we had a pretty good JV season with 6-0. Got a young man by the name of Cedric Henry. It's going to be promising.
Cedric Hamus?
Henry. Yeah, he's going to be promising. And our backup this year named Trent Garner. He's promising too. So we're not really worried about running backs. We'll have a running back.
So your JV team was 6-0. And really, when you get down to it, and also, by the way, in the Coach of the Year, you missed being Coach of the Year in Division 4A by 1 vote.
Yeah.
And I don't know who beat you out, but I don't know who could have done a better job.
Well, the guy who beat me out did a pretty good job. Rod Schaefer from Lake Wells. I mean, nobody expected Lake Wells to repeat the season they had the year before, and he did a pretty good job this year.
Well, that's admirable of you too, though. I mean, I'm sure, you know what, if he was here, he'd probably say the same things. I was very fortunate because Coach Ryals did a hell of a good job. How about, let's just talk about the Booker program for a number of years kind of took a back seat to the big guys. And some of the talent probably said, I'm going to get better exposure if I play, say, for a Sarasota school. Do you see a trend now with the pride over Tornado Alley, the students behind you, the community behind you? And this was brought up. The community is behind you, too. I mean, it's really an exciting place to be. Do you find that that's not happening as much as it did in the past?
Yeah, because for one, I had to thank Diamond Owner Athletic Director and our Principal Jan Gibbs. The first thing they did, they gave us the facilities to just say, hey, we got the same facilities or better than Sarasota and Riverview. And so we can't use that as an excuse anymore. We got the best weight room in this area, the best gym, the best track, pretty nice football stadium. And so now kids can say, hey, I can go to Book and get just as much as I can at Sarasota and Riverview. And that's a start. And the rest of it is pride. You know, we instill in the kids pride that this is their school, they grew up in the community, and they need to be at their school.
I think that the one ingredient missing was you. You know, and I mean that. I mean that. I'll tell you what. You can't, and I think Fred will back it up because we've talked about it. Leadership is so important. Now you're 24 years old. I mean, I've got ties that are older than that. I really do. But it's still, there's got to be somebody that puts it all. And Freddie, am I right or wrong? I mean, you were with the man every day, all day. You can have great facilities. You can have great, even talent. I mean, a good example of talent is the Dallas Mavericks this year. They were terrible last year. You bring in Dick Moda and Jason Kidd, and all of a sudden they've got the top guy has got has so much influence. Did you find that when you were during the season? How did the coach handle himself in crisis?
I think the record speaks for itself.
I think so too. You know what's really kind of sad too? We were talking about it earlier. During the season, your defense gave up how many points?
34.
In the second quarter, in the playoff game,
We gave it 21.
you believe that?
Yeah.
I mean, and a lot of it was. Am I right or wrong? Was it fumbles?
Yeah, we just
Three?
Well, we played the worst game of the season. Yeah, yeah. Well, it's
All three
fumbles.
touchdowns
Yeah.
set up by fumbles on our side of the field.
Yeah.
How did victory has a lot of people tend to be around you, but when adversity comes, how did the kids handle the adversity? This had to hurt. I mean, this is a team I think you thought you could have beat.
Right.
What team was that again?
Rockledge.
Rockledge. I mean, in your mind, did you feel that you had a better team?
Yeah, we came in the game pretty confident. We thought we were going to beat them. I mean, we really did. They ran the opening kickoff back, and they still didn't, put us to rest yet.
For a touchdown.
Yeah.
Oh, they did.
And then we came back.
Well,
and
the opening kickoff, they
ran it all the way back. Then we came down and drove, and some kind of way we just didn't score, right?
Right.
And everything went wrong. My starting fullback broke his leg in the second quarter.
Oh.
It was just everything that can go wrong went wrong.
But like you said, during the season, you even though things are going your way, you figure there's going to be a turn, or there's going to be when things are always going your way, you always start worrying, well, maybe this ain't going to last forever. And it just happened to, unfortunately, happen in one quarter.
Right. Well, that would have happened against some other teams. That might have not been. We might have pulled a game out, but not against a team like that, Rockledge.
No, you're getting up some pretty tough talent there.
Yeah.
Let me ask you. Let's just talk about a couple other teams. What are your feelings about Southeast? I mean, they were picked number 1 by USA Today. They got hit with a loss against Riverview, but they didn't have Peter Ward. Am I correct?
Right.
QB. What are your feelings about the Southeast team?
Man, I tell you what. I mean, I think they're one of the best teams in the state by far. I mean, Coach Mecca does a great job over there with those kids.
He does.
Oh yeah. To be honest with you, we try to model our program after Southeast. We try to make our athletes the same kind of athletes they have, and we run pretty much the same defense, some of the same offense stuff they do, and because that's the program around here, and that's a tribute to Riverview High School also that they beat them.
They beat them. You can say it was a sloppy field, but it was the same field for both teams.
Exactly, and Coach Brady did an excellent job this year. He's 6A Coach of the Year, and he did an outstanding job this year. And to beat a team like that, they're just the best team I've ever seen.
Southeast.
Oh yeah.
Now, where are they playing this week?
They're home.
They're home.
Who are they playing? Who are they playing?
St. Thomas Aquinas.
Yeah.
And then Manatee's still in it.
Oh yeah. Joking Dan, but he's used to this every year. He'll get them ready every game.
I'm going to bring that up. What we've got coming up here is there's going to be, and I've got this thing right here. Fred, you may want to talk about this a little bit. This is the Tropicana PAL Bowl of 94, and it's Manatee High. It's going to be at Manatee High School. And what day? We're talking December 28th. Now, I know you probably can't. Maybe you can zero in on this. There you go. There you go. Freddie, what's the deal? And who's playing who? And where's the talent coming from? Who's coaching? And
Well, I had the pleasure to be an assistant coach. Coach Ryals is going to be the head coach for the Sarasota squad, and Coach Joe Canan is going to be the head coach of the Manatee County squad. So all the high schools in Sarasota County and all the high schools in Manatee County are getting together, and they're going to play an all-star game. And I think you're going to have over a dozen Division I athletes in it, and a couple All-Americans, I'm pretty sure, and several All-Staters, as I was telling you earlier, because when they announced the All-State teams in a couple weeks, I'm pretty sure a lot of the area kids will be named.
so you're
All-State.
talking about Manatee County going against Sarasota County.
Yes, sir. Third time.
And Coach Ryals, you're going to be coaching the Sarasota team.
Correct.
Now, can you give me a couple? Wait, let me ask you this real quick. I mean, you're still only 24 years old, but you've got a pretty good track record. How do you, in one game, get people that haven't played together?
Well, we'll practice about 5 times before we play the game, and I had the pleasure of coaching in the first year as an assistant under Mike Dowling, and it's a lot of fun. Those kids like that.
How is the intensity of a game like that? I mean, there's a little pride.
Yeah, it's intense.
It is?
Yeah, we're up 2-0. Again, we've won the last 2, and we got to play it up there this year, and so it's going to be real
You might be
intense.
seeing some of those Southeast players that you've been talking about.
We got 14 of them on that team.
14?
14. So we're just playing Southeast.
So this will be touchdown Johnny Baker's last high school game then?
Yeah.
Hopefully not.
High school? Oh, yeah,
Florida,
game.
Georgia.
Oh,
We hope he makes the Florida, Georgia squad.
What's that?
The best in Florida against the best in Georgia in June, and he has a good chance.
Where do they play that?
Last year was in Daytona Beach because they had the World Cup soccer in Orlando. So either Orlando or Daytona Beach.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ruffy, Scotty, we're going to mark that day down.
Absolutely.
So that should be terrific. Okay, we're going to take a break, and then we'll be back with our guests. And you want me? Okay, I know she's ready to shoot me. We're taking too much time. Thanks for watching, gang. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Okay.
Right here, look at this. And his assistant coach, Fred Gilmore from Booker High School. They've had a terrific season. We're going to be talking to them a little bit later, but let's get to the board, Ruffy.
Chad?
Hey guys, how
Hi.
you doing?
Good.
First of all, I gotta say, Ruffy, I won my bet with you last week,
Yes, you did.
and the Vikings did win. It was a close game. The Bears, I think, just got ended up losing because of bad coaching. I think some of the calls made at the end weren't that great, but
I think Wansted's done a wonderful job with that
he's
talent.
done a great job this year. But as far as coaching, I think that was his weakest game this season. Some of the plays he chose, I didn't agree with, especially on in overtime where he chose the running play on 3rd down, and I would have gone for a short pass because their passing game was going great at that point. But
Yeah, but for the talent that man's got, he's putting on a pretty good show.
oh yeah,
style.
he doesn't have a lot of talent, and I got to say, he's so far, barring losing their last 3 games and ending up 500, he's my choice for Coach of the Year. Also, I want to make a very bold prediction right on your show. I'm going to predict, it'll be the boldest prediction on your show, probably so far. At this point, Indiana University, they're 2-4. I predict they're either going to win, tie, or place 2nd in the race for the Big Ten title this year.
Yeah, I think they still can do that.
They looked very good last night, Chad.
Oh yeah, they certainly did,
Against
but
Kentucky.
I don't know what happened with Bobby Knight. How he lost control of his kids like that to get a stupid technical foul like that, and how their foul shooting was off. But
You still a singing waiter?
you betcha.
How's it going over there?
Oh, it's going great. We're it's doing a lot of business. They just decided to use their beer and wine license.
Okay.
They didn't have a beer and wine license up till now, but they're going to get one hopefully before Christmas.
Were you fortunate to watch Barry Sanders against the Pack on Sunday?
No, I didn't get a chance to.
Man, I have never seen anything like it.
Oh, he is. He's a great player. He's amazing. I've seen what he's done to the Bears many years, and he's just incredible.
Coach, let me ask you, would you compare Johnny Baker, to Barry Sanders? Barry Sanders might be the best that's ever played the game.
Mm-hmm.
And again, if he played for a great team like the 49ers or even the Cowboys, can you imagine what he would have... Brady, look at me. But I mean, you figure Baker's, he's not big, but neither is Sanders.
Right.
What's it get down to? Just God-given ability, or is it speed? What is it?
It's kind of ironic that you bring that up because before every Friday night's game, Baker would watch a film of Barry Sanders.
Really?
Yeah, that's one of his favorite running backs, him and Emmitt Smith. So he runs like him a little
That must
bit.
be his idol then.
Well, I think so.
Yeah, by the way, Donnie G, you might not know this, but Slugger told me tonight's her last night.
Yep.
So I want to say goodbye to Slugger, and also if you have a position open, I'd be glad to answer phones for you.
Would you really?
Oh, yeah, I'd do it for you on Thursday night.
Well, why don't you give Ruthless a call during the week?
Okay.
371-2522, and we'd love to have you come over here.
Hey, that'd be great. I'd love
And I think it is a good time to thank Slugger for she's done a
really
terrific
She's
job.
excellent on those phones, I'll tell you.
And, you know, it's she's going on, but she's got a position offered to her that she really can't refuse. And again, Slugger, we love you and we wish you the very best.
Oh, yeah, and by the way, my mom wants me to tell you that she thinks you look a little like Bobby Knight.
Bobby Knight.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know whether that's a
gentleman.
compliment or not. But,
I've had some other ones, but that's probably one of the nicest ones.
anyway.
The other one was George Burns, I think they compared me to.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Chad, give Ruthless a call.
Okay.
And maybe we can work something out.
All right.
Okay, listen.
I hope we can.
You got a gift for Chad?
I got a gift certificate to Hooters and TGI Fridays.
Hey, thank you very much.
Just walk right down the mall.
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah. Yeah, right. That's where the restaurant is, right by Golf Gate Mall, in fact.
Okay, listen, thanks for calling, big guy.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anytime.
Cliff?
Yes.
Hi, Cliff.
How are you guys?
Thanks
Great.
for waiting, Cliff.
Don, you know, you've been compared with Bobby Knight. A lot of people have compared me with Tom Selleck, but I'm the 5'5" size.
The only thing I've never thrown a chair.
No.
I remember.
I don't ever see you in a red sweater either.
No, that's right. I've never been to Indiana.
I would hate to be Bobby Knight's dog right now.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, the guy's a hell of a coach. Leave him alone.
Oh, he is. What do you got for us, Cliff? What do you want to talk about?
I've got two questions. One I changed here because the coaches came on, and I thought we'd talk a little football. I won't ask them who the... Well, yes, I will. Who is your favorite NFL coach of all time?
Ooh, of all time.
Is there anybody, you were talking about Johnny Baker looking up to Barry Sanders. Is there somebody that you'd like to maybe, you've got a pretty good career ahead of you, if everything goes the way I hope it does for you. Is there anybody that you'd like to emulate or that you think about when you're coaching?
Offhand, you got to think about Don Shula. I mean, he's been there for years, and I mean, got the record for all the wins or something
I
like
think
that?
he does.
300 some wins.
I mean,
You know, do you ever notice some of the better coaches, I mean, maybe it's me, but they don't get, like, Sam looks like he's going to get ready to go in to replace the quarterback. I mean, he's shouting plays in, he's waving. I mean, Landry, Shula, they just stood there. If there was a problem with the offense, they bring the offensive coordinator over, defense, the special. They're basically a CEO.
right.
And I don't know, if you get hysterical, but you've got capable people like Freddie. But I mean, that's the one trademark I've noticed of the great coaches.
Yeah.
They got to control. They kind of keep their emotions in line. Do you find that? Have you ever thought about that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, a lot of times I say this, before a game to myself, I say, hey, I just got to manage the game. And that's what a head coach does. He manages the game. Make sure when right plays and stuff in certain situations, just make sure that everything's going smoothly, and that's what I try to do.
How does he do, Fred?
12-0. I mean 11-0.
That's the answer. You know what, Ruffy, you had a good question during the break.
Well, he had mentioned earlier during the first segment there that they only had 4 home games, and I was kind of shocked and just kind of curious. Why did you only have 4 home games last year?
Well, last year we had a problem scheduling. We didn't have many teams that wanted to, in our classification, that wanted to come play us. We ended up traveling to Okeechobee, traveling to Fort Lauderdale, because, I guess they kind of knew that we were going to be pretty tough.
No, you were 6-5 the previous year.
Right, but we only lost 2 people the year before.
I mean, is this how technical this thing is even getting? We're talking Division 4A high school football, and these people are scouting you, figuring who's coming back. I mean, this is almost what you think at a pro level.
Well, you kind of hear it from word of mouth. I mean, the year before, and Don Reynolds last year, we were pretty talented, but, we were just young, and people kind of knew,
So what do? You call up Joe Schwartz and say, okay, we'd like to play. You love the ride down here. I'll take you over to St. Armand Circle, show you kids the sunset. And what do they say to you? What is the normal? How's a guy say no to you? It's almost, I'd feel like it's, I feel bad. I feel like I'm weak. I'm saying, oh, I don't want to play you because I know you can beat me.
Well, that's not a question for, I mean, that's not a circumstance for every team. A lot of times it depends on what opening you have in your schedule and what opening the other school has in their schedule. And a lot of times that was the case when we just couldn't work it out. But some teams kind of laughed at me, so are you crazy?
I'm not that stupid, huh?
Yeah, you know, they...
Now, what's it look like for next year? I mean, you're going to be just as strong?
We'll be young, but we'll be talented.
But as far as getting the home games?
Well, we'll just play more 5A schools and some 6A schools. Like, we'll play Riverview in the kickoff Classic. We've got Venice on the schedule right now. If we have to, we'll play Sarasota if we have to. But last year was a situation we wasn't ready to play all those big teams, but now we'll play them.
Now, Sarasota's going to 5A,
Right.
Southeast is going to 6A.
Right.
I would think that Sarasota would probably be very happy to have you call them because they want to get a rivalry going with their 5A school. Am I right or wrong on that?
Well, we're 4A and they're 5A, but their thing is just scheduling. You know, they still got Southeast Manatee Review on their schedule.
Yeah.
So, you know, if it doesn't work out, we won't play each other. And
Yeah, I understand.
I'm not looking forward to playing them and Riverview in the same year anyways.
I understand. That's interesting. Hey, Cliff.
Yeah.
Who was president of the United States when the Detroit Red Wings won their last Stanley Cup?
Well, I'm the one that's going to ask the question.
Okay, go ahead. That's all right.
What was your question?
Who was the president of the United States when the Detroit Red Wings won their last Stanley Cup? Real quick, we got to go to
I
break.
hate hockey. I couldn't answer that.
Okay.
Give me all night.
That's all right. I'm not going to tell you the answer then. What do you got for me?
Well, first of all, I want to congratulate the coach. He really impresses me for 24 years old.
He's something else.
And I hope you get as lucky as my favorite coach did. Not luck, it was really talent. My favorite coach was Vince Lombardi.
Well,
And this guy, there's 16 coaches ahead of him as far as NFL victories go. But nobody's ahead of him as far as winning percentage.
okay, well, listen, we've got to take a break. Appreciate you calling, Cliff, and for calling in, we're going to give you a couple tickets to Cobb Theater. You know what's surprising, Marianne? When he's off camera, he is one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. In fact, he had to leave. He wanted to go home. His daughter was out on her first date, and he had to get back to Tampa. So I apologize in a way, but that's how he makes his living, and he think, you know.
I know.
You know what I'm saying.
I
But
know.
you know we still love you. Okay, what do you got for us? What do you want to talk about?
Your trivia question, was it Eisenhower?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Boom! That's huge. How'd you know that?
It was a guess. It was either Truman or Eisenhower.
That's a long time ago.
Ike, great golfer.
Were you born then, Ruffy?
Yeah, that year.
Were you really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I noticed you're missing part of your trivia team. Dirk Fernandez chickened out, I guess, after his clobbering.
What was that? Tonight?
Horseshoes.
Oh, did you read that? Was that the funniest article you've ever read?
It was something.
Did you read that article about Fernandez getting, was it? She's 68-year-old?
She was older than that one.
I think she was older.
You know,
She was 82.
82.
Yeah.
Oh, she's one. I had never laughed. You know what? He's a comic. What do you think, Marianne?
It was very well written. I mean, he could probably go to McCurdy's with that type of an article.
You know what? And he is like that in person, too. I mean, he's just, and if you read his sports columns, he's got to be somewhat, normal, but there'll be the subtleties thrown in. But the article on the horse, he told us he was going to do it. I thought he was only kidding us. Okay, you got anything you want to talk about, Marianne, in sports?
Do you think they're not making any progress resolving the baseball strike? The players seem to be willing to continue the strike in '95 if they don't get what they want. Do you think it'll result in the violence that John Franco of the Mets threatened?
No.
Because, there's so much violence, in society. If they pull this off, these professional players, kids will probably think it's all right to do that in their particular profession, and like post office employees, the crazy things that go on,
Yeah, well, it's human. You don't know what human beings are human beings, but you haven't heard too much from John Franco lately. Listen, we're going to have to go, Marianne, only because we've got a couple of people. I'm going to throw one quick question at you.
Okay.
Let me see. Who won the National League and World Series MVP awards in 1980? National League. He was both the World Series MVP and the National League Player of the Year MVP.
Coach Ryals, what is
You got it, Coach?
1980?
I think it was Mike Smith.
Let's see, not Pete Rose.
Coach Lyle's going to give you some help. What do you got, Coach?
Smith?
Yeah! Is she tough or what?
Pretty good.
Coach, you had that one, though, didn't you?
Smith.
Coach had that one, so we're going to share that. You're going to go with... No, we're going to give the coach... No, he's going to get a dinner for two over at the Chop House Grill for being our guest. We appreciate you coming over like that. What do we got for... Let's give her something nice. How about... How about...
No biplane rides. That was a
I
great...
was just going to say that.
Oh,
Did you see the ad?
I love that commercial. Did you actually get it off the ground? You know,
Yeah,
in the air?
I was a little concerned for a while.
You do it?
Yeah.
Did your wig fall off?
Well, yeah, not only that. Oh, the last thing they heard me was singing the words to "Nearer My God to Thee," and then I realized that may be the closest I ever get to God. So I think
Looking for his hair.
A regular airline flight, they practically have to drug me.
I know, but I'll tell you what. Once you get up, it's really quite easy, and it is absolutely, it is unbelievable.
We live in a beautiful area, don't we?
And you know what? You don't realize how beautiful until you get up in the air like that. We're going to give you a dinner for two at Beasley's.
Oh, that's great.
Thanks. Okay, how about Paul? No?
Pat.
Yeah.
Hi, Pat.
How are you, Doug? Listen, I got a fun football question to ask you guys.
Good.
Team A comes out of the huddle, and part of the ball is in the end zone. How can that happen and no one getting any points?
It would have to be on the team's own inch line, right?
Pardon?
If the team had the ball on their own, say, 3-inch line, the back of the ball
would be in the end
right?
zone.
But why wouldn't the other team get the points if the ball is touching the end zone? If it's touching the goal line, how come the other team didn't get points?
Wait a minute, Freddie, what do you got?
The center adjusts the ball back a little bit to get comfortable.
No, it's not a center touch.
Okay, what's the answer, Pat?
Gordon McCarter taught me this one, the NFL ref.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When a team drives and loses the ball on downs, let's assume it drove to the 1-inch line. It lost the ball on downs. The referee turns the ball over, nose to tail, so that the front of the ball goes to the back. So the other team has 10 yards to drive. So when the team came out of the huddle, the ball actually is on the goal line and a little bit over the goal line. You understand my explanation?
Yeah, that's what you were saying, Scotty, weren't you?
Well,
basically?
yeah, but we're saying the ball could still be on the line on offense, right?
It starts on offense, yeah.
Right, okay, so the back of the ball would be touching the line.
The back of the ball is in the end zone.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, listen, for calling in, Pat, we're going to give you a gift certificate from Subway.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Pat.
Okay. George, quick.
Hi, how are you guys?
Good, quick, George.
Hey, a very important question. Only Donnie G can answer this.
Okay.
Now that all the stations Monday are changing in Tampa affiliation, where's the wrestling going to be?
It's going to stay on 12.
Well, it was on 28.
Oh, no, 28 is going to
To
13.
Right.
All right? Okay. I don't know.
You guarantee me that it will be on the same time because I don't want my whole schedule to be messed.
No. I guarantee it, Georgie. How much longer do we have?
Got time for? I just want to say one more.
That's all right. I can't figure it all out, but I think it's 13 is going to 28.
Yeah, 13 is Fox and 10 is CBS.
10's going to 13, 28's going to 13. Okay. Who's on second? Okay, what's your next one, real quick?
The NFL, without a doubt, has set up the schedule to save Sam's job.
You're getting worried now, aren't you? You're getting worried.
They put in all these lousy teams at the end. They're going to go up to Washington, I believe it's a week from Sunday.
Right.
And they're going to beat them up there, too. And they're going to wind up, and Doug is going to be close.
He's going
to be 8 and 8, but they're going to be close.
They might be 6 and 10.
Or 7 and 9.
Which might be enough, depending on who the new owners are, to save his job.
Oh, definitely
If Jimmy Johnson doesn't want it.
Jimmy Johnson's not going to come to Tampa Bay.
Well, then Sam's got a shot to stay there if they finish strong.
You know what? I take my hat off to him if he does it.
That's why he hasn't been playing Dilfer.
That's
Definitely
right.
wants to keep his
Their
job.
skid went down when they brought in Dilfer. Erickson's a much better quarterback.
Erickson's a good quarterback.
You know. Well, we're going to be going...
I want to thank you very much for that tape, Donnie D.
Oh, did you get that tape?
Got it today. Thank you very much.
Okay, enjoy.
Okay.
Okay, we'll send you a gift from Taco Casa. Okay, we're going to be closing out. Coach, I really, really sincerely appreciate you joining us, and I hope that next season you might stop by and we'll talk about some more victories.
Okay.
So continued success over at Tornado Alley.
Thank you.
And Freddie, we'll be looking forward to talking more to you about that All-Star game coming up, which on the 28th. Okay, thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you all next week. I think we'll have either Bill Musselman or a surprise guest.
Wow.
I'm not going to say.
See you all later.
Thanks, gang.
All right.